Whether you're somebody who is a beginner fabricator or someone who has zero fabrication experience, or you're somebody who's an advanced fabricator, this project is perfect because this can be mild to wild. There's so many different ways you can build Gullwing windows with basic hand tools or with advanced hand tools. And a few years ago, I made the first Gullwing version, just something super simple to slap onto my Land Rover Discovery. And the cool thing about learning how to build is that it doesn't matter whether it's a Nissan, a Toyota, a Ford, a Jeep, or in this case, a Land Rover. Once you learn how to build, you are able to apply different ideas to multiple applications, save money, and get the satisfaction of building yourself. We're gonna pull the old Gullwing window out. We're going to use one side of it as like a pass-through for solar, for 110 socket, 12-volt socket. And then we're gonna try to improve the seal and the latch. There's honestly a lot of little things I've thought about that we can improve, and hopefully it won't take too long. The original latches never failed. They were super inexpensive Amazon junk latches, but the problem is you could see through them. So they weren't great at keeping weather out. Honestly, I'm amazed at how little weather got through these, but still, it was basically a free space where muddy water or stuff could get in there in the right circumstances. And so that's something that I would like to upgrade. If you type in sealed latch on Amazon, you're gonna find better latches, or you know what, I'll put all the hardware and stuff that we used in an Amazon shopping cart that'll be attached in the description of this video. But the good thing is this newer latch is bigger than the old latch, and it's way easier to take material away than to add material. So this made it to where I laid out Matt, told him exactly what I wanted, he trimmed it to fit the new latch, and now the new door, which is remnants of a hole we cut out of the old door, is now going to be secured with a new weather sealed latch. This is the rough shape that I'm starting with to build like basically a backstop for the door, and this is where we're going to put a new seal. Then around the entire thing, we're going to seal it and bolt it into like the frame of the old window. You can see I've got everything kind of started here. I'm going to be trimming a whole bunch around the outside and then like welding it in a couple spots, but we at least have like the frame made. Matt is working on the latches. He had to open these up a little bit, but these new latches are way better. I like these a lot. It's gonna suffer the same sort of like issues where, you know, if something gets packed with mud, often it won't like press down like that. Wow, nice job, Matt. That fits in there really clean. So yeah, I think we'll probably silicone that on there once it's like, once this is painted and everything. But that's gonna look clean. I dig that a lot. This is going to not only seal out the weather, but hopefully be just a little bit more practical all around. These are really cheap. It's not all that great. So I think this is gonna be a pretty worthwhile upgrade. Don't let the fact that I'm building this out of aluminum discourage you from building this out of whatever you can get your hands on. I mean, listen, you can seriously do this mild to wild. On the wild side, I've got a bunch of buddies that have plasma tables. They can draw out something in CAD and they could like plasma out a super badass window. But if you're somebody that has like the basics, like a jigsaw, Costco toolkit, and a drill, you can go get sheets of plastic and do this out of UV resistant plastic. You can still build super rad stuff in your shop by yourself without a whole bunch of high-end tooling and without TIG welding anything. You've just got to watch some videos like this, get that creative inspiration, and then design a window that suits the materials you're comfortable using and with the tooling that you already have. What do you got here?
We have the border to our new door for the quarter window of this thing.
So we're starting with the middle because we know we got a little gap on top, little gap on bottom. I think that that's going to work, but I also think we need to get more of this stuff. Sucks I don't have any right now, but if I get more of this stuff, we go do a border around it. Hopefully that'll help it clean up a little bit. And then where's the door at? I want to see what that looks like on there. Dude, that's gonna look so much better than it did before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I just need to weld on the back part of this one. And then, yeah, dude, I think this is gonna look good. If you drill all these holes the way you have them marked, We'll bolt that in there. You know what? We might not even need the gasket. Honestly, standing back, once there's a good coat of mud on there, I think it's going to look really nice.
Once it's all one color.
Yeah, once it's all one color, exactly. We have a little bit of a problem, but I'm pretty sure I have a solution. I mean, we're just going to test and see what we can do with the tooling we have in the shop. So whenever I welded this sill onto the backside of, I guess, the outer mount, I don't know what you would call any of this stuff, but the part outside of the window itself, what the window is going to bolt to, it made it to where it like bowed in all the way around. And this is normal when you're welding stuff like this. You get like some shrinking and some expanding in different places, and then while you're welding it, you're like locking it into that shape, and then as it cools, it's distorted. So my plan is to clamp it to the table, heat with the joints as hot as I can. The problem with aluminum is you can't see it glowing red, obviously, like steel, but I'm gonna heat it, and then I'm gonna clamp it down, let it cool, and see if we can square this up so whenever we put the door into this frame, I guess, it's not gonna be like, there won't be a giant gap all the way around the door from the warp. This is called a glant, and this is going to be a pass-through through our Gullwing window. Did I say Gullwing? Through our Gullwing window to go from electrical connections inside of the vehicle to electrical connections on the roof of the vehicle, because this can be for our solar. The second one is going to be for a 110 plug that I'm going to be installing in the rooftop tent, and then the other hole is going to be for a 12-volt plug I'm going to install in the rooftop tent. This one goes through our DC to DC charger slash AC to DC charger, and this will, when I can basically hook up the shore power and it'll top off these giant batteries I just installed. And then this one is going to be for a solar blanket. So if the solar on the roof isn't enough, it's like overcast or something, and I need just more panels, I've got a big like solar blanket I could put on the hood, and that'll plug in to this guy. So I'm going to make all these cuts, make sure that we've got everything laid out, trim it all up, and then I'm gonna go to Home Depot, get just some paint, get some seal, get some different things that I need, and then we can finally install this stuff. I made a really big mistake here, and I wanted to like seal around this edge with some sort of a seal. I have bought paintable, like, I don't want to say it's silicone, but like adhesives in the past and had no problems. I applied this on there. I realized that it said non-paintable. I tried to thin it out with acetone and just like blow it out with an air nozzle, which did not work. And I guess I ended up like basically spreading it all over the entire thing, because once I painted it, the paint like sat on top of whatever the hell I coated this with. So what I ended up doing is taking all the paint back off of everything, cleaning it up super good multiple times so that I could shoot everything one final time with paint, and then I'll just figure out a way to seal around this edge later on. These solar glands are glue-on. There's no like bolting action that happens here. So in order to ensure that I've got really good bite, I decided to drill holes around the mating surface. We filled those holes with construction adhesive. I then ran that construction adhesive around the outer, I guess, mating surface on the back of the gland. Pushed it on there for like 30 seconds. This construction adhesive is really good about holding on to stuff. And then I ran a bead of silicone all the way around the edge to make it like really weather sealed. And then I could pull this masking. The whole point of the masking is to make it to whenever I pull it, we've got a really nice clean edge all the way around the glands, and I'm not smearing silicone all over the place that I need to clean up later. Oh wow, that's really tight.
Yeah. Yeah, I made sure that the hardware is flush with the back of the door.
Yep. So I figured it happened. So I have extra hinges because I've broken before. Well, that sucks. setbacks happen, and that's okay. In this instance, I think the door is a little bit too thick with the seal, and it puts too much pressure on these inexpensive Amazon hinges. So instead of using 1/4 inch for the door, we're going to use 1/8 inch, so it'll give a little bit more space for the seal, and it's also going to be a little bit more flexible, which will probably fit the contour of the vehicle better anyway. So I picked up some 1/8 inch, I had Matt cut it out, and then after some painting and whatnot, we can install it and see if this will fix our issue with these hinges. There it is. Some of you might wonder, what is the point of all this? And for me, it's you're getting rid of something that's glass that can break, and you're turning it into something that's a little more usable. And because of the this like inside system that I installed here, it makes it to where I can store some things behind the window, and then I can thread stuff on the inside like you see here. So I dig it. But for us, there's so much stuff that has to go up to the rooftop tent. This was very valuable, and that's why I stopped in the middle of filming the solar install and battery install video so that I could do this, because this just, I've been wanting to make this better ever since I did it. And now we've got a spot to plug our solar panel in. We've got a spot to plug in to charge our batteries. This is going to be a nice pass through to get power up to the tent, and I feel like we're in pretty good shape. I want to drive the point home that you don't have to be an expert welder or an expert fabricator in order to build something like this. This could easily be done out of plastic. This could easily be done out of steel. Just have fun with it. It's cool to build stuff like this yourself instead of buying them. However, if you are somebody who just wants to buy this and install it on your rig, this has, over the last few years since I made the first video, a lot has changed, and Gullwing window kits are showing up for multiple vehicles here in the States. So that's something you could definitely install yourself if somebody else built it, and then you get the added benefit on SUVs to be able to like reach in there or however you want to design it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.